Hey, Adam from Adam's Reviews here, and today I am reviewing the Denon AH-MM200BK Music Maniac on-ear headphones. And boy, what an incredible set of headphones these things are. The reproduction of music is second to none. I have a number of headphones that I use that I switch between, and so far these things definitely take the cake. As far as high frequency response goes, they're crystal clear. The lower end frequencies are reproduced accurately, and they don't really sound super boomy like some of the other headphones that I have now and that I've owned in the past. As far as comfort goes, they are an on-the-ear headphone, so be aware of that if it's something that you are not really into. Personally, for my taste, on-ear aren't really my forte. I prefer to have the ones that go actually over the ear, because after a little while, for me anyways, the on-ear ones, even though these are just absolutely constructed very well, they still become a little bit uncomfortable after a while. Just the pressure on your ear is just, for whatever reason, for me, I'm a little bit sensitive to that. So beware of that. It's not like they're on your head super tight. I've had headphones in the past that just clamp down on your head like they're vice grips or something along those lines. But these, they don't do that. They're gentle, but it's just for my own preferences, as I've said, I prefer the over-the-ear ones. As far as the construction is concerned, these things are made out of metal. I believe that most of it is aluminum. The ear muffs, I'm not sure what material the muffs are actually made out of, but again, they're really super soft. They're very comfortable, and for me to say that's something, because as I said, you know, I'm a much bigger fan of the over-the-ear headphones as opposed to the ones that go on the ear. But even so, they're very comfortable. They have a very soft, cushiony feel to them. So extended wear, even for me, I can put up with them for hours on end. And I use these for gaming, believe it or not. And I game for hours and hours on end. And for these to be able to sit on my head for that length of time and not give me headaches or become super uncomfortable is saying a heck of a lot. They fold up nice and neat. They fold up in kind of an odd way, though, not like some of the other headphones that I've had that are able to fold together. These kind of like have an odd configuration when you fold them up. The one thing that I do have to ding them on, though, and I'm not sure why they went this route when they were designing these, but I give them props for including a headphone cord that actually detaches from the headphone itself, which is great. That way, you know, if something happens to the cord itself, you can always replace it. But that's the caveat, and that's why I'm only giving this product 4 out of 5. For me, whenever I give a 5 out of 5, that means it is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no suggestions that I could make to make that product better. For me, this is the one thing that they didn't really follow through with their design, didn't think about it when it came to replacing that cord, because unfortunately, as you can see in this picture right here, the actual insert, the receptacle for the cord, is shaped in an oval. And what that means is that you cannot use any standard 1/8 inch jack to plug into it, because it simply won't fit. You have to use the Denon cable to actually be able to plug it in. And that also makes you run into another issue with these headphones, and another unfortunate pitfall with them. Since it is oval, if you don't have the cord lined up properly, if you don't have the jack lined up properly to insert it, there's a very good chance that you might not have it plugged in properly, and that means that the jack is hanging halfway out. So what it does is it actually will give you sound on both the left and the right side of the headphones, but unfortunately what you're actually doing is kind of shorting it internally so that you're only getting one side from the actual source material. So for instance, when you're listening to your music, you're going to notice that it sounds really, really odd, and especially the way that you can test that to see, you know, besides actually like examining the plug, if you take your balance and you balance it to one side, you'll notice that the volume doesn't change at all. But when you switch it over to the other side, what winds up happening is you only get music out of one side. So if you find that happening, look at the jack on the headphone, because more than likely you don't have it plugged in all the way. You'll need to rotate that plug to be able to insert it all the way inside that oval receptacle. Oh, that's a weird thing to say. So that is the reason why I have to ding it. But as far as reproducing music is concerned, they sound absolutely beautiful. These are not cheap headphones, and so when I got them, I was expecting to be blown away. And the first thing that caught me was that what I just mentioned, where I didn't have the jack was not seated properly inside the receptacle, so I was getting this weird mono sound, and I was thinking, boy, this music just does not sound like these types, like what I would expect out of a set of headphones that cost this much. So when I examined it further, that's what I discovered, that, oh, what do you know, the jack is not actually seated all the way into the receptacle. Turned it, plugged it all the way in, went and replayed some music, and oh wow, what a huge difference that made. Obviously, stereo sound out of stereo headphones is what you're going to desire. Listening to mono sound out of a pair of headphones, even if they're great headphones, is still going to sound very tame in comparison. So when I swapped that around and plugged it in and listened to that music, it was just an amazing experience. If you want a pair of headphones that are not cheap but accurately reproduce the music, and if you don't mind having a proprietary 1/8" cord that if something goes wrong with it, you'll have to contact Denon to get a replacement, then these are definitely the headphones for you, because they just sound absolutely fantastic, and they are worth every penny as far as I'm concerned. And maybe in a future revision, they'll maybe watch this review and take my suggestion to heart and replace that receptacle with just a normal receptacle, so that way any standard 1/8" jack you can go ahead and plug in and replace it if you wanted to, especially if you want to have an extended cable, so that way if your receiver that you've plugged into is on the couch or the receiver is in your stereo cabinet and you want to sit on your couch, you're not stuck with a short cable. And that is one other thing I did not mention, was the fact that these cables that come with the headphones are rather short. They're only about 3 feet long. And the other thing that I found was a little odd for a set of headphones that cost this much is there is not a 1/8" to 1/4" adapter. So if you have a receiver, excuse me, that's got a 1/4" output for your headphones, you're going to have to provide your own adapter, which for a pair of headphones that cost this much, I would have expected it to include an adapter like that. But unfortunately, that is not the case, so you'll have to provide your own. But outside of that, from a purely musical standpoint, these things sound absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend, if you're in the market for some new headphones, go ahead and pick yourself up a pair of these, and you are not going to be disappointed. And thanks for watching another of my reviews, and I'll see you all next time.